My name, my name is Alejandro Romero. I go by Alex.
What is your current occupation?
I work at the front desk of the Eastern Columbia building.
And is that for the Action Property Management Company?
That's correct.
How long have you been employed at the Eastern Columbia building?
Approximately 13 years.
And could you please describe what kind of work you do for the Eastern Columbia building?
Most of it is just access control, and I deal with a lot of residents regarding their packages and food deliveries.
Okay. And have you done that pretty much the whole 10 years?
That's correct.
I'm going to take you back to 2015 and 2016 for a moment. How many people would you say would go through the building on any particular day in that time? I'm talking tenants and visitors.
I cannot say a number because there's 147 units in the building, and there are visitors, guests, friends. Actually, we used to send delivery people up. We don't send it anymore because of the COVID. But I cannot tell you a number. There's thousands of people probably.
Have you ever met Johnny Depp?
I saw him a couple of times.
Okay. Do you remember what Mr. Depp was wearing on any of those occasions?
Nope.
Do you remember what jewelry he had on?
Nope.
Do you remember what headgear he was wearing? If he was wearing a scarf or a hat?
No.
Do you remember whether Mr. Depp was wearing any makeup or eyeliner? On the
Nope, I don't remember. Nope.
You couldn't tell me one way or the other, right?
No.
Do you know whether Mr. Depp had ever been physically violent with Amber Heard? And by this, I mean hitting, punching, throwing objects at her, kicking her, headbutting her. Do you know one way or the other whether Mr. Depp ever did that to Ms. Heard?
Nope.
Have you ever seen Mr. Depp slam things around or be angry?
No, I have never seen him like that.
I'm going to ask you some questions now about Amber Heard. When did you first meet Amber Heard?
I believe she was dancing on the lobby. I met her at the front desk. I got to interact more with her sister, Whitney, I believe that's her name, and her good friend, Rocky. And but Amber, I only...
You know, as I'm watching this testimony, this witness's testimony and the one from the witness before, I keep thinking of that famous expression, how you can't get blood from a stone. If witnesses didn't see something happen, they didn't see it. If they didn't note injuries were present, they didn't note they were there. It seems like counsel's really looking for something that just isn't there with these lines of questioning. We'll be right back where we're leaving off after this.
It's a gift. Share more.
Thank you for being with us here at Court TV Live this Wednesday. I'm Julie Grant. Let's go back into the courtroom now in Fairfax County, Virginia, where we're watching the dueling defamation cases playing out between Johnny Depp and his ex-wife Amber Heard. We're watching a videotaped deposition of the front desk manager at the penthouse apartment building, where they were living. We know that May 2016, incident is the focus right now, and we're hearing from this manager. His name's Alejandro Romero, about what he might have seen on the cameras that were placed in the hallways.
Sometimes used to get packages.
Do you recall whether Ms. Heard became a resident sometime around March 2016?
Don't remember.
Could you tell me one way or the other?
I just can't remember. Like I said, it's been so long, I just don't remember. And I know you guys sent me the papers to review, and I'm gonna be honest, I didn't want to review them because it's been so long. It's like I just don't want to deal with this anymore. Yes, I went through the witness statement, and it's everything that is written there. That's what I said.
Okay. And,
That was correct. That was accurate.
okay.
That's why I signed it.
So during the time between 2015 and 2016, how many times would you say total that you interacted with Amber Heard?
For a whole year, I can give you a number. Because it could be like probably I probably saw Amber for 3 times in one day. Probably I'll see like 5 times, or probably I will never see him for a whole week. So I don't have there's never been a routine.
Okay. How would you describe Amber Heard's interactions with you? Were they friendly? Would she smile at you? Would she talk with you?
She was really friendly. She always smiled. But we never had like a interaction as really close relationship, like I do with some of the other residents. She never told me anything of her problems. She never stopped by and talked about her personal life. She never did that.
They're asking you about a date that you recall seeing Amber Heard on May 25th, 2016. Do you see that?
Yes, I do.
And you said, probably I just can't remember the days. I've got a really bad memory for dates. Did you see that?
Yep.
So, Mr. Romero, would you at any time be able to remember what type of clothing Amber Heard was wearing from one of her events?
Nope, I don't remember.
Would you remember on any daily basis what type of hairstyle she was wearing?
Nope.
Would you remember on any type of basis what type of bag Amber Heard was carrying?
No.
Would you be able to say whether Amber Heard was dressed up or casual on any given day?
No.
Would you be able to say whether what type of makeup Amber Heard was wearing on any given day?
No.
Would you be able to say, for example, whether Amber Heard had on concealer or foundation on any given day?
No.
Would you be able to say whether Amber Heard had on blush or powder on any given day?
No.
Would you be able to say whether Amber Heard had any mascara or eyeliner on any given day?
No.
How about eyebrow pencil or lip pencil?
No.
Do you have any memories of Amber Heard wearing a particular type of makeup with a type of outfit?
No.
If you were asked to describe any characteristics of Amber Heard from 2 days earlier without knowing you were going to be asked, would you be able to testify to any of those? What she was wearing, what her makeup was, what her hairstyle was?
No, I probably won't remember.
When is the first time that you recall anyone saying anything to you about the police being called at the EC building because of a domestic dispute between Mr. Depp and Amber Heard?
Well, to answer your question, whatever happened, it happened on a Saturday. I don't work Saturday. When I got there on Monday, they asked me, "Oh, you heard what happened?" And I said, "No, what happened?" So that's how I find out. Then I went to the cameras and see what was going on. Then as soon as I saw Johnny Depp on the camera on the elevator, just walking back and forward on the camera in the elevator, I said, "Okay, I know that was Tim," and that's all I knew. But I was not there on that Saturday when that happened. I believe that whatever that happened, they say it happened, and when they called the police, I believe it was on a Saturday, and I was not there.
Okay. Do you recall who told you that on that Monday following the Saturday?
Okay, Don, as a matter of fact, I think it was one of the residents that they approached to me, and they said, there was a lot of noise because the person was working out on the gym that's next to the penthouse. They heard a bunch of noise, and that's it. And that's why I checked the camera. And when I looked at the cameras and I saw Johnny, like I said, was just walking back and forward in the elevator. And I said, like, okay, all right, okay, no, I'll try to figure it out. And I didn't say anything more. I turned off the camera, and that's it.
So the first part of that, somebody was working out and heard noise?
Someone was working out on the gym and heard the noise. They heard a lot of noise on the hallway. Because it's really rare to hear anything because most of the time the penthouse level is really quiet.
Okay. Do you remember who the person was in the gym that heard a lot of noise in the penthouse that night?
That's correct. I do remember the person.
Who is it?
I remember the person. It has been a resident in the building for a long time. I just don't remember that. I don't remember her name.
And where is the gym in comparison to the penthouse that's owned by Mr. Depp?
Like I said, Johnny Depp owns all the penthouse on below the clock. The gym of the Eastern Columbia building is just in front of one of the penthouses. You actually could see it through the window.
You can see the gym through a window of the penthouse, or you can see the penthouse through a window of the gym?
You could see the gym through one of the windows to the penthouse, and it has a patio that leads to the gym. Penthouse has a patio that leads to the gym.
Okay.
All right, so it seems to me the purpose of this witness is that he's looking at the cameras for any video evidence that some kind of domestic violence incident might have occurred. So far hasn't seen anything. He just noted seeing Johnny Depp walking around in the elevator. We're gonna hear more from him. We have to squeeze in a quick break first. Thank you for being with us here on Court TV Live.
363.
This is Court TV Live, your front row seat to justice. I'm Julie Grant. We are covering the case of Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard in Virginia. And today we're seeing these videotaped depositions that were taken in preparation for the case of some witnesses that might have seen something or not seen something on that May 2016 date where there was a fight between Johnny Depp and Amber Heard in their penthouse apartment. I want to bring in my guest and see what he thinks of these witnesses. Criminal defense attorney John Mobley is with us. He's standing by in Columbia, South Carolina. Hi there, John. Good to see you. What do you think of these last couple witnesses?
Well, I got to tell you, Julie, I got to call it like I see it. The officer was, I guess, sort of a no contest of both sides. Clearly, with regard to the officer, Johnny Depp's attorneys are trying to demonstrate that Amber Heard has a history of making false allegations of domestic abuse, calling law enforcement, making these allegations and claims, yet law enforcement will appear and respond, and either A, she's not cooperating, or B, they're not seeing any evidence of domestic violence, with the suggestion being that, or the inference being those are false allegations she's making. That's a great strategy and a great point. However, I will have to say the defense, her attorneys, did a great job of, on cross-examination by getting the officer to basically, or trying to paint the picture that the reason there's no evidence to support their claim of domestic violence is, number one, the officer didn't take the time to actually try to talk to Amber. Now, he'll say she didn't cooperate, but ultimately he did not actually interview her himself. He didn't interview the witnesses. And trying to rebut the claim of no evidence of domestic abuse from the standpoint of injuries is because he didn't really get a good look at her face. She was wearing makeup. You saw from the side, the lighting wasn't very good. So I believe both sides really did what they were supposed to do from the standpoint of how that witness was handled. This other witness, the former, I don't know if he was a concierge or a doorman, like you said, Julie, it's like trying to get blood from a turnip. You have a witness that clearly just does not want to be there, didn't want to cooperate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I appreciate the analysis you gave on that officer's testimony. Backing up a bit, I think the real key thing here is that he didn't see injuries. That's something that bodes very well for the Depp side of this case. Appreciate you calling it like you're seeing it, John Mobley. You're going to keep watching, and we're going to do the same. We're going to go back in now together at exactly the point where we left off. We're hearing from the front desk manager, Alejandro Romero.
This 10, if you think of her name while you're, even if we're asking other questions, please let me know. This 10, this is a resident there, right? That saw this?
Yeah, I believe her name is Shauna.
And so she told you she heard a lot of noise.
That's correct.
Did she describe anything, voices, any objects, anything like that?
No, she just said it was a noise. Just noise. And she was just surprised because, like I said, it's always really quiet.
Okay. And so she wanted to know what happened. And so you went to the video cameras to look at video. How did you know when to look for them?
Because she got the time. She got the time that she was working out. That's what I figured out the time on the camera and looked. And then when as soon as I saw, like I said, Johnny Depp walking back and forth in the elevator, I turned off the camera and I figured out, okay, this is what happened. I figured out, put 1 and 2 together, so I was okay.
When you said you figured out what happened after you saw Johnny Depp in the elevator, what did you figure out had happened?
I figured out that's why they call the cops, the police.
Because why?
Because of the noise that was on the penthouse level.
Mr. Romero, I'm going to ask you to look at, this is a video clip marked as Romero Exhibit number 8. It shows a date and time stamp near the bottom. Do you recognize this as the elevator at ECB building?
That's correct.
Mr. Romero, you're nodding. Is this the video that you remember looking at after Shauna told you that she heard the noise that night?
That's correct.
And that's Mr. Depp?
Correct.
Do you recognize the other 2 men in the elevator?
I recognize the guy in front of the elevator button. That's his personal bodyguard. The other guy, I've seen him before, but I never interact with him. If I did, I don't remember.
You said he looked agitated.
Yeah, he looked agitated. Like he was walking back and forward. He took his jacket. His body language was different than before. Most of the time, he's really calm. He's just like really happy person. Man, like, this is the first time I saw him like that.
And then you go to the next, so then you say Wednesday, May 26th. At approximately 10:30, Ms. Heard walked into the lobby accompanied by Ms. Raquel Pennington. That's the person you called Rocky earlier. Do you remember her?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. And you said that Ms. Heard approached you to ask you for the key to her unit, which you gave her. And you said we did not discuss anything else at that time.
Correct.
Ms. Heard stood approximately 3 feet away from you. I did not notice any bruises, cuts, swelling, red marks, or any other injuries of any kind on Ms. Heard's face. Do you see that?
Correct.
Okay. But you weren't looking for bruises, cuts, swelling, red marks, or any other injuries on Ms. Heard's face that night, were you?
I was not looking for any marks or bruises or anything. But something like that, it will be really noticeable. But I guess, I was not looking. I was more focusing on what my job duties was, like getting the key. And also I gave them the key and they were talking about, I told her, you know what, your dog, I was talking with Raquel because her dog got out of her unit. And that was one of my concerns. I would tell her, you know what, I saw your dog was outside. You didn't want me to get too close to it. So it's still out there. On the penthouse area, the dog will be fine because it's not, like I said, it's always really quiet. And Mr. Depp owns everything up there, so it'll be fine. So that was one of my concerns. That was my job, and I was just taking care of that. I was not trying to say, oh, let me see your face. No.
So, and that's where I'm going to follow up. Do you remember what Ms. Heard was wearing that night?
Nope.
Do you remember whether she was dressed up?
No.
Do you remember where she was coming from, that she was coming home at 10:30 at night with Ms. Pennington?
No, I don't remember. They didn't mention to me. She was on the phone. She was with Raquel in front of me. We were talking about it, and then she left to the lobby where she was still on the phone.
So
we have some breaking news just in we want to share with you right now. This coming out of the state of Minnesota in regards to the George Floyd murder case. We've just learned that former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin has asked the State Court of Appeals to overturn his conviction for the 2020 murder of George Floyd. This is according to an appeal filed by Chauvin's legal team on Monday. You'll recall Chauvin was convicted last April of second-degree manslaughter, second-degree unintentional murder, and third-degree murder, sentenced to 22.5 years in prison for those crimes. He also pleaded guilty in December to a federal civil rights charge. We'll keep you up to date as the story continues developing. Keep it here on Court TV. We're going to take a quick break. We will return together to Virginia for more of Depp versus Heard after this. Good Wednesday afternoon to you, and thank you for being with us here on Court TV Live. I'm your midday host, Julie Grant. Great to be back here with you. We are covering the dueling defamation cases of Johnny Depp and Amber Heard playing out in a courtroom in Fairfax County, Virginia. Our cameras are there for it all. And what the jury is seeing today is a lot of evidence focused on an incident that happened back in May of 2016 when Johnny Depp and Amber Heard apparently got into a bad fight in their penthouse apartment. And police were called. We heard from some officers responding, and none of them deemed Amber Heard to be a victim of domestic violence. No injuries were noted, and she also would not give them a statement, which certainly doesn't help with the police investigation. Now, the jury is hearing from the front desk manager of that building where they were living at the time. And he also wasn't there that day, but he did review the security cameras in the building looking for potential evidence. We're going to go back in exactly where we left off in our last hour.
More on Raquel because I was telling about her dog.
Okay. Do you remember what hairstyle Ms. Heard had that night?
No.
Do you know what type of makeup Amber Heard was wearing that night?
No.
Can you tell me whether she was wearing concealer or foundation?
No.
Could you tell me whether she was wearing blush?
No.
Could you tell me whether she was wearing any kind of eye makeup?
No.
So who wrote the sentence, "I did not notice any bruises, cuts, swelling, red marks, or any other injuries of any kind in Ms. Bird's face"?
I'm pretty sure if I would have said something like that, I would have said something.
Mr. Romero,
I didn't saw any marks or bruises on her face. I don't recall. Just don't saw anything. She was just standing in front of me.
I'm asking specifically, I did not notice any bruises, cuts, swelling, red marks, or any other injuries of any kind to Ms. Bird's face. Who wrote that?
That's what I said. I didn't saw any marks or bruises on her face. That's what I said.
But
Because they asked me if I remember seeing anything. I said, I just don't recall seeing any marks or bruises because she was just sitting in front of me. I just don't remember seeing anything. Just don't remember. If it would have been so obvious, like someone had like a black eye, I would have like, whoa, I would have seen that and I would have remembered because it's something that you will see. Like so noticeable, like you will remember. But when I was there talking to her, she was like 3 feet away from me. She was right in front of me. I just don't remember seeing any marks, bruises, or anything.
But you don't know whether she was wearing makeup to cover it, do you?
No, I don't know. No, she was wearing any makeup to cover it. Probably, you probably will cover any bruise, but you cannot cover the swelling.
Were you looking for swelling?
No, like I said, I was not looking for anything.
In fact, you were spending more time talking to Rocky about her dog, were you not?
That's correct, but I gotta have it. When I'm talking to someone, I look into their eyes. And when I was talking to Amber and Rocky, I always look into their eyes.
Okay.
And I wouldn't notice like any swelling or bruise. Like I said, I probably would notice.
It's fair to say, Mr. Romero, that you can't say that Amber Heard had injuries or did not have injuries that day on the 25th?
I don't remember.
Okay.
And like I said, I would probably remember the swelling, but I didn't saw anything. I just don't remember.
And you don't remember seeing anything, right? But do you remember even looking?
I remember.
Okay.
I remember. I'm really sorry, but I remember. I gotta tell the whole story how they got there. Before they went and get the keys. They come down. They say somebody tried to get into my unit. There's scratches on my door. And like, I'm really sorry, but who will think it's gonna get into your unit because they saw some scratches on the door, like 4 inches above the door, because the dog was scratching the door, was trying to get in, and they thought about someone trying to break into the unit. I said, in my head, I was like, you think someone's trying to get into your unit? There's scratches like 4 inches above the floor on your door. That was the dog trying to get into the unit. And they were so afraid. Oh, someone's trying to get into my unit. It's like, oh, come on, really? And I actually, when they asked me to go inside the unit just to check room by room to make sure that no one was there. So I did that. It's part of my job, make sure they're safe. But I didn't understand why they want me to do that. Like, I don't know. I just so stressed out because of this. I just don't want to deal with this anymore. I'm tired. I don't want to deal with this court case. Everybody got problems, and I don't want to deal with this no more. I don't want to put this with any more words.
The interaction you just testified about with Amber Heard and Rocky Pennington, and talking about the dog and going up and checking out the penthouse. None of that was on video footage, correct?
That's correct. That we don't have cameras in the video. Sorry, we don't have cameras at the hallway. We don't have cameras on the hallway.
I'm going to show you what has been marked as Romero Exhibit Number 1. It's a deposition that was taken of you on July 19, 2016. Now, that's approximately 2 months after the May 21, 2016 incident. Do you recall giving that deposition?
16 probably did. I just don't remember.
Okay. I'm going to take you to page 35. Let's go a little bit more. When you were asked, this is the same incident that you're talking about now, okay? And it's talking about, okay, you spoke with Amber at the front desk, later saw her in the lobby, later went upstairs with her. It says the question at line 6, I just want to go back for a second here. You said several times in answer to my questions that you didn't recall seeing any marks on Amber's face. When you say you didn't recall seeing any of those marks, did you mean that you didn't see any marks on her face? And your answer then was, I say that because when I saw Amber, I was not looking to see anything on her face. I was not looking to see anything. Do you recall giving that testimony under oath back at that time, 2 months after the incident?
Yes, I do. I remember because, like I say, I always make eye contact with someone that I'm talking to, but I'm not looking to find something like oh, your makeup is wrong, you haven't have changed your eyebrows, or your eyelashes are not even, or I'm not looking for anything. I'm just looking at their eyes, and I'm not looking for anything else. But if I see something, I probably will remember.
If you saw something, right?
Yeah, I would have probably would see, like if she had a swollen, like if she was wearing makeup, probably would have been seeing the swollen. I probably would remember that. But I was not looking for anything. I was like, oh, you know.
How swollen was Amber on the 25th of May? How swollen was her cheek?
Well, according to the pictures I've been seeing right now that you're showing me, it was pretty swollen. I probably will remember that.
How many days later did you see her from that swelling?
That was on a Wednesday. That was from Saturday to Wednesday.
Right. How many days would it be fair to say that you cannot testify one way or the other whether Amber Heard was domestically abused by Johnny Depp on May 21, 2016?
I cannot say that. I would not agree to testify against anyone of domestic violence because I was not there. I didn't see anything. I didn't hear anything. I was not there. I was never there. I was probably hundreds of miles away and got no idea what happened that day.
And do you remember that there was pictures of wine, a glass of wine and bottle of wine stains on the floor outside of in the hallway of the penthouse from May 21st, 2016?
I remember talking to Mark. I'm not going to say it was wine.
All right. Well,
I'm not an expert.
Ladies and gentlemen, the next portion of this deposition contains questions asked by counsel for Mr. Depp.
You sit here today when you saw her at the front desk on March 25th.
All right, this is a good place for us to hit the pause button because we have to hit a commercial break. But before we do that, I'm going to bring in my guests and see what they think of this testimony. Still with me in Columbia, South Carolina, criminal defense attorney John Mobley, and joining the conversation, retired police commander and the host of the Profiling Evil podcast, Mike King, joining us all the way in France. Mike, welcome to the program. All of our Court TV viewers who watch internationally have to be really excited that you're over there getting a lot of tweets from France throughout the last couple weeks. And I want you to weigh in first, since you're just joining us this hour. Tell me, focusing just on this witness here, we've got the building manager up there, and counsel for Amber Heard is trying so hard to get something out of him that's favorable. It's just not happening. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, wasn't that a great piece of testimony? I loved watching this guy because he's believable and he's relatable, and that's a powerful witness to have. The thing I really liked is that he's just a common guy, and he says, you can put makeup on, but you can't hide a swelling. That's really powerful. And that defense attorney is just working really hard trying to get him to say, well, I don't know whether it was there or not. But he's pretty solid on the fact that I'm not seeing swelling. I didn't see anything that was out of the norm for me. And you can feel the emotion of this guy. He likes both of these people, I would suspect. And he doesn't want to be there, but he is trying to tell the truth.
Right, absolutely, Mike. He was so believable, and the testimony was kind of endearing when he was like, I just don't want to deal with this anymore, and everybody laughs, and our cameras caught, you could see Johnny Depp, kind of smile and put his head down, cover his mouth a little bit. John Mobley, as an advocate, as somebody who knows how powerful it is to choose to sit down and not continue questioning. Do you think counsel's making a mistake to keep going and going with all these questions about the makeup when first answer out of his mouth was, I don't know if she was wearing makeup, and she asked 6 more about it?
Well, I do agree in a certain context, and I think it's important to understand that this testimony was given in a deposition as opposed to on the witness stand in the trial. And they're two different animals. I would certainly agree that, of course, the witness was a great witness. He was not giving the attorney what she wanted. She was trying to somehow discredit him and get him to concede that he really couldn't tell whether or not she was abused, but she just wasn't going to shake him. But I think what's important to understand is if this was on the witness stand at a trial, I would agree that she was going on way too long. She should have made her points, or when she saw she wasn't going to get the point she was trying to make, she should have sat down. The difference in this case is this testimony was taken during a deposition, which is not the same context as a trial. A deposition is a place, an opportunity to ask questions of the witness and find out what they know. So in a deposition, the strategy is different. There's no jury. There's no judge that's shutting you down. There's no jury you're trying to worry about their mental state, their attention span. You have the opportunity to ask details as much as you can. And I think from that standpoint, she did what she was supposed to do.
She was definitely on a fact-finding mission there. That is for sure, John. Excellent point. As I was watching, I kept thinking of that Rolling Stones song, You Can't Always Get What You Want. And I kept thinking, like, I know what she wants out of this witness, but it's not happening. It's just not. Get it from another witness. And certainly when they have their chance to present the Heard side of this case, I'm sure are going to hear from witnesses who will give the information that counsel was looking for there. Great comments from you both, as always. Commander King, Attorney Mobley, you're both going to stay with me. I want you to do the same. We're going to squeeze in a break. We'll get right back into the action, and we'll hear what Johnny Depp's attorneys asked of this witness who's on the stand via the deposition tape testimony after this.
By WebBank, member FDIC.
Thank you for staying with us here at Court TV Live. Let's go back in now, and we're going to hear from the Depp team questioning this witness at deposition. This witness was the building manager at the apartment, that penthouse apartment where the incident in May of 2016 took place. His name is Alejandro Romero. He had everybody in the courtroom kind of chuckling when he said he just doesn't want to deal with this anymore. Let's see what he says now.
Bruising, correct?
Correct.
And you didn't see that correct?
That's correct. I didn't see any marks or bruises.
You didn't see any swelling either, did you, Mr. Romero?
That's correct. No swelling at all.
And she was only 3 or 4 feet away from you, correct?
Correct.
And you were looking right into her face squarely, correct?
Correct.
And the lighting was good at the front desk, correct?
Objection.
Correct.
It was so good that had she had any bruises, swelling, or marks on her face, you would have noticed that, correct?
That's correct.
And then later that same day, and you've testified to this already today, later that same day, you went up the elevator with Ms. Hurd and Ms. Pennington in connection with their request for you to check the penthouse, correct?
That's correct.
And during that entire period of time, taking them up to the penthouse, walking through the penthouse, and then finally you leaving and going back to your desk, you looked at Ms. Hurd during that time period, correct?
That's correct.
And you looked her in the face, squarely in the face, correct?
Correct.
And you didn't notice any swelling, correct?
Correct.
I'm sorry?
Correct. I didn't saw anything.
Did you see any swelling?
Objection.
No.
Did you see any bruises?
Nope.
Did you see any marks on her face of any kind?
No marks at all.
And again, just to repeat, when you were front desk looking her in the face, did you see any swelling on her face?
Nope.
See any bruises on her?
Nope.
Did you see any marks of any kind on her face?
No marks at all.
And how was the light down when you were at the reception and you were looking at her and didn't see any of this? How was the lighting?
The lighting is actually pretty good. It's not dark at all. She was 6 feet apart. Approximately 3 to 4 feet apart.
Were you looking her square in the face?
Correct.
Okay. And when you were up in the penthouse and you were looking her square in the face, how far apart were you from her then?
We actually were pretty close to each other. She was probably just next to me. She was telling me, like, go into this room, so I need to pass right in front of her.
And do you recall seeing any bruises, swelling, redness, or any marks on Miss Hurd's face on May 24th, 2016?
I don't see anything.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this point, the remainder of this deposition of this witness contains questions by counsel for Ms. Hurd.
I'm going to talk a little bit about the video clips that Mr. Depp's attorney showed you. I'm going to ask you, first of all, Mr. Presidio showed you a number of video clips from May 24th. Do you recall that?
May 24th?
Yes.
Yep, that's Tuesday.
But in fact, you don't recall seeing Amber Heard on May 24th, correct?
I don't remember. I don't even remember what I got for breakfast.
Okay. Well, let's pull up exhibit number 1. Let's stay on page 17. That's a good place. This is your deposition from July 19, 2016. Do you recall that?
19? Yeah.
Okay. And that's...
That was 3 in the morning.
Okay. And it said here, did you work, so Saturday was the 21st. Did you work that day? No. Did you work Sunday, May 22nd? No. Did you work May 23rd? Yes. On May 23rd, while you were working, did you see Amber at any time? I don't recall seeing her. Question, did you work on Tuesday, May 24th? Yes, I did. And on Tuesday, May 24th, at any time, did you see Amber? I don't recall seeing her. Do you remember that being your testimony 2 months after the events?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just don't recall. I just don't remember.
Okay. And then while we're here, now, Mr. Presidio had you go through a number of video clips and asked you a bunch of questions about whether you saw swelling, whether you saw red marks, whether you saw all kinds of other things. But in fact, I'm going to ask you, and tell me if you need me to bring up the videos and replay them. Can you tell me what type of makeup Amber Heard was wearing in any of those videos?
No, I can't tell you. I didn't even know she was wearing any lipstick.
Can you
I
tell
don't
me?
know.
Can you tell me whether Amber Heard was wearing concealer in any of those videos?
No.
Can you tell me whether Amber Heard was wearing any foundation in any of those videos?
No, I can't tell you.
Can you tell me whether Amber Heard was wearing any blush in any of those videos?
No.
Can you tell me whether Amber Heard was wearing any powder in any of those videos?
No, but she looks really pale.
Well, do you know what shade of concealer or foundation or powder Ms. Heard uses or used at that time?
No.
Okay. So you don't know whether Ms. Heard was wearing makeup in every one of those video clips, correct?
Correct.
I want to try to move along. So the incident was May 21st, 2016. You saw her the night of May 25th, correct?
Correct.
You said that you saw Amber Heard hundreds of times while she was there. Did Amber Heard treat you well, and was she friendly to you in each of these hundreds of times?
Yes. I'm not going to say no because she was really always nice.
All right, this is my last.
Be nice.
All right, this is my last question. You testified in response to Mr. Presidio's questions that you testified truthfully in all of these occasions. Did you testify truthfully to everything that you testified in response to my questions today?
That's correct.
All right.
I did.